Hey, welcome to Tuesday Q&A. I don't have anything new off the top of my head at the moment. Um, but maybe something will come up as we're going through this. So any questions you got, feel free to ask away.
I'll jump in. You guys have a new under production. You guys have labor report.
Yes.
Is there any plan on being able to break that apart by department? So putting in where I can end up putting into the employees what department they're working, because what ends up happening is I can't segregate it. I can't really, this is overall
Oh, you
production.
can't filter it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can't get an accurate of that department.
hmm
And once again, you guys are pulling all the information, so I don't think that that is like a crazy ad.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
Yeah, we would just, I mean, once you guys update it, we would just have to be able to go in and then build out, are they finishers? Are they mark-in? Are they, route? And then be able to filter that so we can just see that.
Right. Let me see. There is a document on it. Have you had a chance to check that out?
I have not. Is there any way you can email it to me?
Yeah, I can send it to you. It's in the Learning Center also. Actually, I can probably just post it here in a second.
Okay.
There's that labor efficiency report article. I'm pulling it up right now because I want to look at it. I have all the companies that I've looked at, nobody's using it properly.
Yeah, what
Okay.
we did, yeah, we went in and we put in the wage of everyone, and then doing that, we also realized that you guys updated your privileges by role.
Yeah.
So, and that must be relatively new because when I was trying to get our developer to work with API, the only way he could do it was through administrator. And now you have a senior administrator or something along those lines that takes that out. And only the administrator can actually see anyone's pay rate associated. You have to be administrator.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I guess it doesn't it is interesting because you do have to go through and set the specifics based on each employee so you can track these numbers correctly.
right.
Um, so yeah, I'm not sure why we don't have it broken down by, or the ability to filter out by department.
Right.
Um,
What? Yeah, because you guys do have department level in employees, I believe.
right, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that would help. And once again, do you guys have any plans to, have you heard any plans to potentially build out your time clock a little bit further?
In which manner?
Well, so your guy, and once again, take this, remember, it's just my language is poor around it.
Yeah.
Your guys' time clock is a one trick pony.
Yep.
It's not dynamic at all. And so what ends up happening is we actually use a time clock outside of Smart. So what we can then do is have people clock out of jobs,
Yep.
clock in and clock out of departments. And once again, that's kind of just the big picture aspect of it. But time clocks, like I said, yours, how we actually use it, we only use your time clock for PPOH, which works out great. And then not only that, the other issue is that how we use your time clock. Say we have Raquel. Raquel has a clock in for utility press. She has a clock in for wedding dresses. She has a clock in for everything that she does. So then we can do that instead. It would be, and like I said, I know I'm dreaming here. It would be nice if
Yeah.
we could have Raquel, and then she has a drop down that allows her to select what department she's in instead of us having 10 Raquels.
Right. Yeah. No. I think as we're seeing, I mean, we've made this labor report, so I think that there's definitely more ideas coming out about what we can do with
Right.
time clock. Just considering that fact, because I don't think we were ever looking at doing this labor portion of it and being able
Yeah.
to individually put in wages and hours and all that stuff. So we
Well,
are definitely adapting and changing, and
yeah,
I don't think that's
yeah, but
yeah.
I get why time clocks are hard because every city, every state, federally, everyone has something. So like the undertaking of that is
Yeah.
massive if you're really going to go down that path. And then you become liable for the things that associated if you're not doing it correctly when you start getting it. So, but my thing is just at least being able for them to select a department instead of having 10 clock ins for one person.
Right. Yeah. because jobs almost gets you there, but it doesn't at the same time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because each job can change the department that it is in.
yeah,
Yeah, you almost need a setting per employee to set what departments they're allowed to check
right.
into. Yeah, I gotcha. Let me write that down. Okay. All right. Do you have other questions or is that it for right now?
I mean, I'm sure I can come up with something. You guys just do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything new that came out recently.
Yeah, no, I know I was going back and forth with you with wash, dry, fold, PPOH. And
Yeah, yep.
so I know that, so I was talking to Elton, and
Elton is, yeah, that's what I was going to bring up in our emails. Yeah.
yeah, I've talked to Elton about it, and he says that it doesn't really work. But then I was talking to Larry Fish, and he sounds like you guys have something that they're doing now with that. And so like I asked Larry, and then he said it's his wife, and that, to get that information, I can only imagine how long it's gonna take. And so
And Larry is with Pierre
yes.
or no? Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember attempting to build the one for Eldon and the one that I built for him. It didn't work entirely for him. And then I believe Josh built him one, and that was the last I heard of it for Eldon's.
Yeah, I think that, like I also, as much as I, once again, if Elton's on this call, I love Elton, but at the same time, like he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out most of the time. So he'll try it and not, like there's a difference between you guys saying do this and then how your staff does it, and then being an owner that follows back up with your staff to make sure that they're doing the right steps to before you say it's broken. There's probably a
Yeah.
step in there that's missing with Elton. And like I said, love Elton. If he
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
he was on here, I would say it to his face and he would agree.
Yeah, no. And then the one thing that I was wanting to really be clear about is with the whole, and be clear for everybody who's kind of on the outside. Um, Will had emailed me about getting the wash and fold way in, way out option, which we do have, but it is specific for orders that are wash and fold orders. So commonly people create their own wash and fold item types and just put it under a dry cleaning or a laundry department, and then they just create a normal order and then add the item type. With the way in, way out section, you have to do it under the wash and fold order, which is the tab that is generally at the top.
And there's no way to do, because what happens is when you turn, we have probably like 6 customers that want a dry weight, because it's like they come in, they're wet, and they want a dry weight, and they've used other people. But when we turn that on universally for everyone, it's a huge pain for those. And so, I mean, I'm guessing out of convenience, that's how it was built, versus being able to have it on a customer level is the only thing that I can imagine.
Yeah, so it was actually created for people that wanted to connect their scale to the computer and have it like a digital scale. So they would just like weigh it and then they would put it on the scale and then it would automatically do it. So it's actually I think it's called like Weigh Station, turn on Weigh Station, something like that.
Hold on. So
Um,
you're saying, but they still have to go over to the point of sale, scan that, pull the customer up, and then weigh it.
yeah, yeah, and you still have to create the order and you have to do everything that you
Yeah.
would. I'm not sure if it ch increases efficiency or not. To me, I don't think that it would be entirely worth it, but
Well, no, I mean, because we weigh it at mark-in. And like I said, we wouldn't do that for everyone unless they specifically ask, because the amount of labor and work that's associated to doing that, it's not
yeah,
worth it. Is there any way you can make a nudge to see
yeah,
what the likelihood is of doing it on a customer level? Because I would end up saying almost every dry cleaner is, or anyone who's doing wash, dry, fold would probably prefer to have it on a customer level.
I agree. Yeah, and I originally when you asked me, I thought it was going to be on a customer level because it just makes sense. Whether it's a group even on a group
Yeah.
level, um, for apartment buildings or whatever,
Yeah.
hotels, if they're
Yep.
weighing towels and stuff like that. So
I did
yeah,
have I did have another question. So is there what we end up doing in our production workflow when we have things that, let's say it has a broken button, it's not going to finish, it gets sent back at the end of the day to spotting. A driver comes back and an order comes back, he ends up scanning it to a rack location that's at the manager's office. The same thing is this is more about wash, dry, fold. Is what we have the girls do there at night is they scan all the wash, dry, folds to a rack location when they put it in a dryer or sorry, when they put it in a washer or dryer. And they do that because if bags ever get mixed up, something gets left behind, like a sock or an underwear that gets mixed with someone else's order, what we're able to do is we have, surveillance cameras. And so we'll go back to that KPI for the Rack 2 location and we'll look it up so we can go back and see what time it is. But if that ticket is altered or moved by anyone else, it comes off of that. Is there a way that we can have them, and this specifically for wash, dry, fold, because we use that as a timestamp to try to figure out when it went into that washer or that dryer. So if we ever have a problem, we can locate it. Is there anything that we can do that's scannable that does not change? Or is there a way to go back in time? Like, because they're always done by like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Nothing happens. Helena's doesn't really kick on till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Where they can go back and review that and see a time where that stuff was sitting in there.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because if not, that is also something that I would hope we could nudge something or some path forward for, because once again, I think that wash, dry, fold, is just like PPOH. Everyone's going to ask for it, and then it's always going to be a half solution because of what people have and what they don't have. And then I did have one other last question. I never got a response from, and this is probably outside your technical. This is not a technical question. I talked to someone last Thursday about ordering a new computer, and no one has gotten back to me. And what they originally tried to get me was a all-in-one that was a 22-inch. I told them this is for production station. They're like, oh, we don't have those. And he said he was going to look into it and find it. And I have yet to hear back. And do you know what production station I'm talking about? It's like a little tiny touchscreen.
Are you trying to do it for pressing?
Yep.
It's for a pressing station?
Yep.
Yeah,
Unless you
almost like
guys
the
have
old
changed-
POSX, or no?
No, it's not a POSX.
Okay.
If you give me a second, I'll run out there and I'll get the brand off of it. I mean, we have like, God, I want to say we have at least 25 of them.
Okay.
Unless you guys have changed and you can put it on a tablet now.
Only Microsoft. Anything that's running Windows, you could technically put it on there, sure.
Yeah, but Microsoft only has the Surface, and that thing is an arm and a leg for a production station.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so our computers that we sell specifically are just the I think it is the 22 or 21-inch all-in-one screens. Those are the only ones that we sell currently.
Yeah, let me go get the name real quick because I got all these from you guys. And so
Interesting.
and I would need to, because at the end of the day, that would really suck if I would have to go find it and then you guys generally they're out of box ready for me. And then
Yeah,
let me go find the name real quick.
yeah. All right. In the meantime, not sure how long he'll take. If you have other questions, feel free to ask.
Hi, this is Julie from San Diego.
Hey,
Hey, my website, no, not website, the site, it didn't work last week. If that, I mean, but it's working right now. From not the counter, it's when I try to see on my laptop, and then it
mhm.
didn't work. However, it's working right now. I was going to ask you, did you guys have any problem? But it's working now. So I have no problem. But I mainly I use this smart for routing.
Okay.
And what was my question? What was my question? I want to set up the like. I saw one of a user using a camera, and then the picture on the computer on the
Yeah.
well, how do I set it up? I bought the camera, I bought the light, I bought everything. How do I set it up?
Yeah, so as long as the camera is registering it, and so to be clear, you're talking about the camera for detailing, right? To take a picture of the
Yes,
garment.
yes.
Okay, yeah. Just so what you'll want to do is you'll want to, I mean, you could give us a call, but also if you want to, you can just go to inside of Smart, go to the settings,
Settings,
and then go to hardware,
hardware, yes.
and then scroll down. I want to say it's the very bottom is the camera settings to where you can go in there and you can make sure that it's selected to be used.
Okay, okay. I'm other location right now without smart system right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, not a problem. And as for you're talking about the website wasn't working. Um,
Yes.
was it giving you an error code or was it giving you like what was it
No,
saying?
it was just blank. It didn't show anything. So I thought you guys changed the setting or changed the something. So that's what I thought. That's what I
Hmm,
thought. But yeah, it works now. So I
okay,
was like, yeah. So
interesting.
if it happens, what do I do? Do I call you or do I?
Yeah.
Because yeah.
Yeah, you can give
Okay.
us a call. Yeah. Yeah, I would want to see what's happening. There were some weird things that happened last week. Essentially we were trying to tighten up our security on things in the
Mm,
background. Turns out we tightened it up a little bit too much, which started causing some weird things to happen. Um, but we've since fixed that and chances are it could have been what you were experiencing, but most users all they had to do was just reload or close out a smart and reopen it and then it ran as normal. But
okay. Okay. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I didn't start.
yeah,
So okay. So when I set it up, I will ask you. I have more questions, but I can't think about it right now. So if
that's
I
okay.
comes up, I will shoot out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we've got plenty of time. We've got another 40 minutes here.
Okay. Thanks.
Of
Yeah,
course.
that was just the device name in the about section. And
Okay.
so I'm wondering, and there's no descript like the arm that's screwed on might be hiding something. But is there any way you can look at what I've bought from you guys before in the past?
Yeah, I'm sure we have if we shipped it,
Yeah.
we should have documentation showing what we shipped out.
Okay.
But I will keep that.
Yeah, if you can get someone to follow up because I have a station that needs one.
Okay. Do you know about how long you've had those?
We've been in this location for 4 years. And so, but I think that throughout those 4 years, up and even last year, I have probably ordered one because we keep adding equipment. And
Okay.
every time we've added equipment, we always add one.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
at the longest, for sure, we have bought one within the last 2 years.
Okay. All right. I'll note that. Okay, cool. Yep, I've got that noted. All right. We've had a couple more people join. In the meantime, does anybody have other questions, any concerns? No, there's been a lot of people moving over to Stripe within the last couple weeks. Are there questions or things that you want me to go over, maybe reporting wise, what may help you? I know I've already gone over it with Matt, so he's pretty good.
I'm sorry. Can you go over the how do I delete items? I created one of the deliveries items, and I created somehow it's not adding more than 15. It cut off at 15, and then it creates another invoice. I think I set it up when I set it up. Um, but so I made it like kind of messy more than what I need to. But I forgot how do I delete that. It's called.
Okay, I gotcha. And what cleaner are you with?
Beasley Cleaner Fresh Spin.
Fresh Spin. Yep. Okay, let me get it pulled up real quick.
Okay.
And I'm going to share my screen just so you can see it too.
Yeah, I create a bunch.
And so you probably have an order that you have pulled up.
Yeah, I can give you the order number. No, it's the RJ last name. The first name is RJ, last name NAANEP.
Yep. Okay, I got
Yeah.
it.
So first two we already delivered, and I'm just waiting for the check. However, the first two, first one, it's I need to delete it, but I forgot how to delete it.
So this five, the amount that's five.
Yeah, that one is somehow it got cut off. I mean, it should be 20 items, and the 15 and five of them is cut. 15 and 5, it's divided. So the first order, I added it somehow. All 20 of them, it's in there. But I need to delete that one. I know it was easy, simple, but I forgot how to do it.
Yeah, not a problem. So what you could do is you can click the blue bar right here,
Yeah.
and then it's going to open up to more info, as in like the
Yes.
history and all this other stuff. And then you can hit that force delete button, or,
Oh,
and that's just going to delete the whole order, right?
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you can go one by one and you can click on each individual item that you want to remove. Say you only want to remove three out of the five. You can just one
Mhm.
by one and click remove across the board.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if I want to add more than 15, I can do that, right? I mean, this is a separate, the 15 and 5, I can add to just 15 items, right?
Yeah, you
Is
should
that,
be able to add up to 40.
oh,
Um,
okay.
based on what I'm seeing. Oh, okay, I see. So right now you have a split rule that is set to
Yeah.
max items per order is set to 15 for
Okay. Yeah.
households specifically.
Uh,
Um, do you want that to be limited? Like, do you want that to be limited or do you want it to be unlimited?
yeah, unlimited is fine. Yeah.
Unlimited?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. I went ahead and saved that for you. So now if you do that in the future, now your max, it's not really unlimited. It's going to go up to 40 just based on what I've seen. It's going to go up to 40 because of your tagging.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
And Will, I'm not sure if you saw my message or not, but um
Message. I don't know if I've seen your message from where.
yeah, I sent you a message on Zoom, but the the screens that you have, the computers you have, they don't manufacture them anymore. So Eric's testing out a new one with eval, and once he confirms it all works with smart and everything, then we'll start sending them back out.
Got it. And what kind of time frame are we looking at?
We already have one in testing, so I would probably say another probably week or less.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks.
Hey, Tal, I got a question. We've been discussing, maybe will you do this or some others, but separating ladies from men so it's bagged separately. Do you all have any suggestions of how you set that up in the system?
Oh, it's a tough one. So do you want to individually put on each item a special care that designates it a permanent men's or women's?
I'm
Or
thinking that'd be easier. I mean, we'd like to say, all pants belong to men, all slacks belong to women, stuff like that. But now we got to rely on our CSRs, which isn't always the best. So yeah, maybe a special care that says men and then women that they can click, and so when it's bagging.
yeah, and then I would create a split rule based on that.
Okay.
I mean, this is just an idea that comes to my head. Maybe Chris or even Will probably has another method to it, but yeah, I would say I think the easiest, least invasive thing, because the only other thing I can think of would be creating an individual item type for each gender, if
The
that makes sense.
the best way is to do the special care and probably create preferences. So if you make a preference for all the men items to automatically get the special care and all the women items to automatically get the special care, then you shouldn't have an issue.
Hey, Matt, I got a question. Why do you want to do that?
It's not that it happens all the time, but you got husband's closet, you got the wife's closet, the clothes get mixed in. People are saying, "Hey, we're missing our clothes." Tell them to go back and check their bags. We were just thinking, maybe just have it separated, and so the wife knows this is her clothes, the husband knows these are his.
You could also just create two accounts, like his account, her account.
Well, that's true too. Do what? Just create two different accounts. Yeah.
And you can make it a master billing so that way one account gets billed, but you have two accounts
And why I say that is it's one of those things that if that suddenly becomes a step that you're going to have all your CSRs do, the amount of labor and association that gets tied into that long run, I think would be it becomes one more step and already a difficult thing trying to get your staff to do the minimum, or maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I just said because we could set it where once you do it to the garment, it stays on the garment, correct? Or do you have to do that each time?
No, it stays on the garment, but at the end of the day, every new customer you get, you're going to have to do that. And then here's the biggest thing is what happens in the future when you decide you don't want to do it anymore And then the customers are like, hey, you used to do that. Now you don't do it. So like, let's say you continue to grow and get busy, and then all of these things, like they add up. Like for me, so couldn't you also, Tyler, when you're building someone's order, can't you like a belt separate something off, like create its own order? So your staff should be able to just when they're sorting the clothes, here's the men's clothes, here's the women's clothes, and then split it as they make it. Instead of you having to go a preference for a woman where it's a manual thing, your staff just kind of does it. And when they go through the order.
Yeah, I mean, I think in both scenarios, you're still depending somewhat on your CSR to do it correctly every time, which is generally one of the hard points when making these types of changes.
Well, and let me understand. It's so the customer comes back and said they didn't get something or they can't find it.
That was just something that we were just throwing around. We had a couple, back to back. So we were just talking about different options.
Do you take photos of your garments?
We do not. We're trying to get that set up, but we have not. We're just our counter space is so limited.
Yeah.
In our stores.
Yeah, because taking pictures would also help too. But I mean, it wouldn't necessarily split just based off photo. It just helps being able to say what goes where, who has what. Yeah, so I think special care would be an option. And then, like Chris said, you can pair it up with a preference. So that way you could set, hey, this, and then it kind of goes into the whole, do you want to have a separate account per spouse or whatever the scenario is? Because then you could easily set it up to where you have a preference of male, female, or NA, whatever you want it to be set. And then you could select it based on account. So that way everything that comes through would automatically get the male. But if you're having joint accounts like couples or whatever, then that would not work.
Okay.
But of course, you can set it to where there's a permanent special care per item, but you just have to have your CSRs go through and select that. And you can make it required to click male or female, but then that goes for everybody. That would be for all of your stores, which would be
Well, using the preferences bypass that, right? So they wouldn't be selecting special cares if they have a preference for it.
right. Yeah.
Okay. Another
So, I mean,
thing, Will, we were thinking it's just sort of a nice feature, just a nice add-on. I don't know.
I agree. I agree with you. I think that is a nice feature, but I think that in my mind, that what is the net benefit other than a nice feature? Is it making you more money? Because like I said, it is something that, like, here's the other problem is, like, let's say you have 10 CSRs and 7 of them do it perfectly every single time. And then now you have, the 3 that you're constantly writing up, bringing it to their attention. Hey, you guys didn't do this. Hey, you didn't do this. And I just think about the headaches that I want in my business. And I think that foundationally, there's things that I've kind of come to this with a lot of my business is, if you're willing to pay for it, I'll figure it out. But I'm not going to do it for free, because just the world that we live in today with your credit card fees, your gas fees, if you're doing pickup delivery, your minimum wage, all those things exponentially are going up. And every time that you want to be customer service driven, which I believe now in my mind how customer service works, we will do it, but you have to pay for it. It's not free. So we're still extending the customer service. So here's the thing is, if that one customer has a problem, what I would probably do is address that one customer, especially if they want that. And everybody's like, hey, we can do this. This is the cost of it. I wouldn't even say, hey, like I would say, we're happy to do it. Here's the cost. Let us know if you want to move forward. Because then at that point, they're turning it down and you've given them the offer. If you didn't give them an offer, or you just take it on full bore responsibility and change your company for, I don't care if it's 10 customers. Even if I had 10 customers complain, it's not going to happen. I would look at it and be like, okay, so, and then not only that, I would look at the industry around me. I would look at all my competition. Are they doing it? Because your customers are always going to want something for free. And don't get me wrong, I'm with you. I grew up in a time where customer service was like you generally bent over backwards, and I worked a lot of service industry, but at the same time, there's a lot more margin to be made at that point. Not only
True.
that, I mean, you just think about the liability associated with labor on everyone that you have. Like there's so much cost associated to it now, and at the same time, you have to remember, dry cleaning as a whole is shrinking, not growing. And so if you're actually growing or staying flat, it's because the people around you are going out of business and they're coming over to you. And once again, that's not like gloom and doom. I still think that there's a very bright future for the people who make it through this transition, but you're gonna have to be the one who makes it through the transition. Because I always think there's going to be a market, and I say this all the time, dry cleaning now is a luxury service. When I first started, it was people who had to wear a collared shirt being a teller. They had to wear a certain they had to look a certain way. Now everywhere you go, it's a polo shirt or t-shirt or sweats. I mean, like you can wear whatever you want nowadays. And so the people who are spending money on doing it is because they have more money than time. So we push ourselves into, we are the window washers, the dog walkers, the yard maintenance, the house cleaner. Those are all luxury services where you have extra income and you're willing to spend your money on that extra income.
I like your take.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure.
Yeah, that was good. All right. Looks like we got about 20 minutes. We got other questions.
Jason's on here, so I have a question, but I also think that I'm going to be one-on-one on this. And so, unless this is, if anyone here isn't on smart marketing, they should be on smart marketing, and really look into it and pay for it, because my question is around smart marketing and is actually a new feature that you guys have. And I know, Jason, I spoke to you recently and I've had a little bit more time to play with it. I'm wondering on your guys' dashboard, when I scroll down, I have customer insight. Are those customer insights at some point going to be clickable where I can actually see the total inactive customers, or the total, or the active route customers, or the new registered customers?
Yes, they will be. And the upcoming version that we're going to push, actually, it might be pushed soon. You'll be able to click into each one of those KPI, in each one of those little cards, and it'll take you to a KPI that will show you the list of everything. So if you want to see all your new customers, you'll see the customers for that time frame. If you want to see who your lost customers are for that time frame, you're going to be able to see all that.
Got it. And then my next question would be with the reviews and ratings. So these are strictly off the smart reviews from the time that this turned on. This has nothing to do with Google or anything else.
No, that's going to be pulling in from Google itself, not just from when when reviews are turned on in smart. So the information is being pulled.
Okay, so when
a
I
lot
look
of
at
the messaging will be from smart, since we can't really get that other, but the messaging that's going out, that is.
Got it. So if I were to look at it and I see review count 11, that means that only 11 people have reviewed us.
From that time frame that's selected in the dashboard.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
And there's clear language that's coming up too on that.
So that one's me being super smart. So I appreciate you making me feel super smart.
Do you care if I share this?
Me?
Yeah, if I share your dashboard.
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Okay. Just so everybody can kind of see what it looks like. If they don't have marketing, this is what Will's referring to.
And this is getting a little bit of an upgrade too from the current look. So we're still working on it.
Yeah.
But essentially, yeah, all our marketing metrics, we're trying to put it all in one place so you can come here and get a better picture and a better understanding of what's going on with your marketing service.
Yeah. And so the other thing is, I talked to Tony the other day also, and you guys are going to start taking over our Google, AdWord, and potentially Facebook. And so is any of that type of information going to get incorporated into the dashboard?
That actually we are looking into currently as you speak. There is an API with Google that we're needing to get connection permission with that will basically, once you connect your Google business account to the reviews, we'll be able to get more information, and then that'll just come along with it, the ads and whatnot.
And Tyler, this is just an ego stroke for myself, but If you actually do the date range over a year, you're not going to see that 4.2 or 4.3 garbage that I was freaking out about until they just realized that I can select a date range.
Okay, so you went to the start of this year.
Yeah, I just selected this year or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, that's my own. When I see those things, I don't enjoy seeing low ratings.
So is this screen you're looking at only available if you're doing the Google ratings? Because I don't see analytics.
No, this is going to be pushed to all customers sometime, I'm guessing this month that we're going to get it out. Will test a lot of items for us, so that's why he has this on his
Okay.
instance. So yeah, it's mainly we're in testing and just trying to perfect it and refine it.
Yeah. And like I said, I think this is great, and I think that if you're not on smart marketing, that it really is, and I've looked at all of them. I've looked at cleaner marketing, be creative, all those things. And the nice thing with smart is that it ties directly into the point of sale. There is no API that they have to connect to that's going to break. And, once again, you get more invested into a partner that you're working with. And so I think it actually strengthens the relationship, knowing that they know you're willing to invest in their product and that you have a partnership. And so it's always trying to, work towards getting something better versus when you have working with, a bolt-on type of system where once again, and I don't know, I'm going to step out of line here, but once again, everyone else who works with Smart to pull data, if Smart really said someday no, then all those systems you're working with and all the money that you spent is in the garbage. Like, not saying that's ever going to happen, but if I was to think about it long run, and generally, if you buy a point of sale, you should be thinking of it in at least 5 to 10 year increments. Like that is something that I would put into the back of my head.
If only Enrique was here to see this.
No, you're talking. He's not. He doesn't pull the trigger on anything. He has no power. It's his brother, and he's literally both Enrique and his brother have worked for me in the past, and they are both, unfortunately, I think that his brother is one of the best pressers that has ever worked for me. And Enrique was all around just kind of, younger brother, kind of thing on the coattails. And I think that he is, still running his brother's, drop store, doing whatever, because you can talk to them till they're blue in the face. I think most people, you end up realizing, until you actually start doing marketing and looking at some of the analytics and the reports, and I know you guys are working on something right now. I can't remember if it was Jason or Josh or who I talked to about, you guys are working on churn rate, so lost customers and frequency. And
Yep.
so like I said, I can't remember. It was last week. Someone called me and started talking to me about it. And I think that's going to be huge because when you start looking at following up with your customer, like let's say a 90-day time frame, they come in once, they come in twice, and then they don't come in again. What happened? Especially if they used you twice. And you look at their orders and let's say it was laundry shirts or it's just dry cleaning, and you start kind of looking at what it was. If it's a comforter and they don't come back in, I don't care. If it's an alteration, they don't come back in, I don't care. But when you're looking at everyday items and you don't have a microscope to view it, you're driving blind to a certain extent to try to get that recurring money. And if you end up looking like one of the campaigns that we run is, let me switch here. Where are we back? One of the campaigns that we run is you haven't been in 90 days, but you have been in the last year. And that one generally does, so campaigns, on podcast.
No orders since last.
Yeah. So if we
Probably it.
Yeah, if we view that one and you end up revenue, that one doesn't look like it did that well.
Yeah, it didn't do that great.
But hold on, if you go to the one, so go back and go to, no, so was that could have been the reminder if that shows as a reminder. But no order 90 days if we open this up a little bit more. Go to the last one I thought did really well. 90-day extension, 90-day off. So in April, that one's not
Are
showing.
you looking at campaigns or a broadcast?
Sorry, I'm looking at broadcasts. Should I be looking at campaigns?
The campaigns are continuously. One of these broadcasts for the one time.
Yeah, I was looking at broadcast and but even look at this, do the comforter, the July comforter, that revenue attribute was 7,569 total. So orders submitted is 240, total discount 11,000. So that one to me looks like it did not bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't bad because you kept sending out other ones as well. You did reminders and then
yeah, we only give people 7 days. So almost on everything that we do, we give you 7 days. Then 3 days before it closes, we give you a reminder. Then after it closes, we then print the list of everyone who didn't use it, and we send to them saying, "Hey, it looks like you applied this." So they applied it to their account, but they never used it. We say, "Hey, it looks like you applied this. We're going to open this back up for you." And we'll go from there. And then generally that one brings people back in. And
you're creating a sense of urgency is what you're doing, and that's kind of where you want to get your customers. Because if you just leave it open-ended or like a 30-day something really long, they forget about it.
right.
And that's what you're trying to avoid.
Yeah. So when it says revenue attributed, that is what you netted.
That'll be paid orders with that promotions link.
So that's the gross, not the net.
Yeah, you can click on the actual promotion down there, Tyler, and it'll take you into the actual KPI, so you can see what it's actually grabbing.
Got it.
I think we need to reconnect a lot of this because we're making updates to that as well. But you should be able to find the promotion in there.
Got it. Okay.
I think I just clicked on the welcome one.
No, it doesn't.
Just to see what the welcome one generates. It was this one. Web 15 right here. After discount amount, 170,000.
Mm-hmm. And what's the time frame on that?
This one would be all time, but
yeah.
Let's see when it started running. Started running April 2025. That's just a 15% off promotion.
Yeah.
And you should be able to click on each of those individual numbers to get the monthly too.
Yeah. I'm wondering if, just for me, my opinion, but I feel like if I'm clicking this view and I want to specifically see this number or I want to look at this promotion, if I click on this, I shouldn't have to go find that promotion. But I'm sure there's a reason behind it.
And then we're working on that one. Yeah, that's one that we're filtering down. Yeah. But those metrics are actually the one that you saw, the individual campaign, those are live. Unlike the dashboard. So Matt, you can actually see those if you're running campaigns with us.
Yeah. But either way, those are neat. I mean, it's coming a long way. And so.
All right. We got about 5 minutes left where we can wrap it up with that.
Yep. You guys will get back to me on that computer?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.